Barbara Alexander is president of the OSINT Foundation and former director of the Collection and Requirements Division in the Office of Intelligence and Analysis at DHS. Eliot Jardines is director of operations for the OSINT Foundation, former assistant deputy director of national intelligence for open source. Welcome to both of you. Barbara, start with you. Why is doing an event like this important, and what's the genesis in the 3 years that the OSINT Foundation has existed to get to where you are today?
It's been quite a ride for 3 years, going from nothing to an event of this size today. The genesis of the foundation was that Eliot and I, in our career in the intelligence community, saw open source intelligence, OSINT, discounted and misunderstood. And during COVID, we just got tired of people making mistakes about it, anywhere from pronouncing the name or saying, well, anybody can do it, it's just Google. Mm-hmm. It's been around a long time, and we date the start of open source intelligence from 1941. And you hear today, oh, it's new, it's big, it's social media. So we felt that it was very important to professionalize the discipline, give the practitioners of the discipline a forum for support, for professional development and growth, for networking opportunities, and to have a career path that when I was an analyst in the intelligence community, open source professionals didn't really have. So the outcome of an event like this is to bring the community together. And these really are people who practice open source or people who support the practice of open source with tools and techniques. What I heard today from everybody was, wow, this was great. We got to talk to people. We got to network with people and look at what's happening in that organization that's germane to my organization and making the contacts. So I think we achieved that outcome. We doubled in size from last year's event, and we look forward to a bigger and better one next year.
Eliot, how much of dealing with the discounting and misunderstanding that Barb talked about a moment ago is this community still dealing with, and how much of it now is beyond that and thinking about how do we implement the technologies that are available to us and maintain the momentum that we've gained?
So we still have an issue with a misunderstanding of the complexities of the discipline. And so when I got started in open source in the early 1990s, it was a relatively easy discipline because the internet was so small, but the complexity has grown that, all of the speakers today pretty much mentioned artificial intelligence, AI, generative AI, data science, machine learning. And so the OSINT practitioner today has to have far broader skills than when I started out, when it was an additional duty, right? And so, Barb mentioned during the pandemic, the organizations weren't doing in-person events, so lots of webinars and that kind of thing. And we got tired of tuning into webinars that were comprised of people who had actually never done the job, or from senior leaders who really had no understanding of the discipline. So the good news is at the mid and lower level in the intelligence community, people have a very good appreciation. The problem frequently is at the highest levels, where those senior leaders didn't grow up with the technology and aren't as informed as they should be about the discipline. And so we're trying to, with our other event, which is an awards reception, we invite all of those seniors to hear those testimonies, and so that they understand that they own an incredible capability.
Barb, Eliot mentioned generative AI, and I talked to a lot of folks today that are also talking about kind of the next gen of that, which is agentic AI. How do you see the evolution of this practice, of this profession moving forward when technology changes big boulders in technology change every 12 to 24 months?
Well, we have some amazing corporate sponsors of the foundation, and there were 41 exhibitors today with those cutting edge tools. Coming from the government, we always depended upon them because they have the cutting edge technologies. They can move and bring it in. The government speakers who talked today were using a lot of those platforms and tools and incorporating them into their workflows. So from the foundation's perspective, events that bring the two together are a way to go about increasing the understanding of capabilities, and then, like I said, helping them make those connections so that the data scientists and real technologists in one organization can reach out and learn from their colleagues in industry.
Elliot?
Yeah, so one of our speakers who was with the Army's National Ground Intelligence Center, she's the manager who oversees, Emily Thompson, who oversees the OSINT effort at NGIC and has a heavy data science component. And she talked specifically about the need for OSINT practitioners to be well-versed, and then for the AI and data science community to also be cross-trained to a certain degree so that we have both the technologists and the OSINT practitioners. And she had a quote where she said, AI may not replace everyone's job, but it will certainly replace the jobs of those who don't use it. And so that is a key thing from the foundation perspective. We today talked about a certification, and that to be able to make OSINT practitioners good consumers of the technology, and to be able to, AI is fantastic, but garbage in, garbage out, right? And so if we're not 100% certain we have high quality data, then all the computational capability in the world is not going to make this data any better on the out.
Without the connections, I found years ago that technologists would put a tool on an analyst's desk and they'd say, "This is great," and the analyst would never use it because it wasn't what they needed. And so I think that opportunities like this will help increase that cross-pollination and teach both sides what the other one needs.
Barb, Elliot, it's great to have both of you here. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks.
Thank you.